It's been just about a year since the great ice storm of 2013. The night before the Sunday before Christmas, the ice storm descended on the mid-Michigan area. Power lines were frozen, tree branches fell, and on Sunday morning the 22nd, when I asked people in church how many of you don't have power, about 2/3 of the room raised their hand. And at that point I decided to open the church for as long as it needed to be open so that people could come and get warm and have light and charge their devices and use the kitchen if they needed to, clean up here with hot water if they needed to. And what unfolded over the next few days was an amazing story, because people did come and they would just hang out and have a cup of coffee and charge their phone. And then people started asking if they could sleep here. And so at one point we had 9 people sleeping in the building on cots or sleeping bags in various rooms of the church. And our director of Christian education and her husband and 3 children slept here Christmas Eve, and the children woke up, and on the first morning of Christmas they ran all over the church because Santa had hidden their presents all over the building. That night, on Christmas night, about 25 people gathered, not just people who were staying here, but people who were sheltering in their houses even though their houses were dark and cold, and they spread a Christmas feast in the Undercroft and ate together and celebrated the birth of Jesus with their church family, even though it wasn't quite what they had imagined when they went out 4 or 5 days before and bought pounds and pounds and pounds of food. And so I was reminiscing about that with some folks here at church and thinking, oh, thank goodness we probably won't have that happen this year. And people started telling me what a wonderful time that was for them and what a wonderful experience it was for them to find the fellowship that they found here and to gather with their friends and to make something out of the holiday that was beyond any expectations they had. That even though it seemed like it was not a happy time and not the Christmas of dreams, that somehow it was truly Christmas. It was the presence of Christ in those people gathered together in this space. Making beauty, sharing love, and finding joy in what was ostensibly a really not joyful experience. And so as we head into this Christmas, and everything will probably be quite normal, and we will have our usual customs and services, and families will gather as they often do, I keep going back to that memory of people somehow tapping into the true meaning of Christmas in the midst of cold and dark and ice. And I hope somehow as we remember back a year ago that we can grab a little bit of that thought, that in the darkness there was light, and in the cold there was warmth, and out of loneliness was friendship. Because that is the true meaning of Christmas. God comes to us so that we can be closer to God and to each other. And I wish that for all of us this season.